What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club. So, today is the day of the festival. Now, just to quickly recap last episode, first of all, I became a world-class chef with Natsuki. That was pretty fun. Second of all, Sayori has depression for some reason. I did not expect that in any way, shape, or form. And third of all, Sayori confessed her love to me, and I confessed mine back. So, that was pretty cool. I don't really know what's going to happen now, but I feel like the festival is going to be really fun. Probably not, because it sounds actually kind of boring, but we're going to have to give a poem in front of everyone, so that's going to be pretty cool. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. Of course, that kind of sounds like Sayori. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Yeah, kind of is, actually. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by carefully stacking 2 trays. Natsuki has already texted me up a storm, but I can't respond thanks to my hands being full. That's great. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Natsuki at the festival. Makes sense. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. I'm sure it will be. Devin, you're the first one here. Thank you. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. There must be ones she's prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like, and submitted it. That's a great idea. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You think that on days this important she'd try a little harder? Yeah, I see that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. Yeah, that's not a really nice thing to say, actually, not because she has depression. And I suddenly feel awful knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. Ahaha, you take a little responsibility for her, Devin. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Exchange? Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president, after all. But I stammer, embarrassed. Did Terry really tell her about it that quickly? We're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Eh? Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. I kinda did too. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? I don't know what that is. They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I'll go do that. I grabbed one of the pamphlets and it laid out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this would definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is nearly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognize Netsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. Oh no. It's different from the one she practiced. Oh god. It's one that I haven't read before. Get out of my head, get out. Get out of my head. What? Get out of my head. I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. Why does it say percent up here? I don't know. I don't know, but I don't like it. I need to go help Sayori. Ah! What is this? Reading the poem, I got a pit in my stomach. Me too. Devin? What's wrong? Nothing. Yeah, okay. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that... What? I changed my mind! Okay. I'm going to get Sayori, so... Well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? Okay. Aye, aye, Captain. Let's go. Let's go. Because I'm Italian now, apparently. I quickly leave the classroom. That's good. That's a great thing to do. Don't strain yourself. Monica calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. We're on the road. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her, or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things would be the same as they've always have been. But that's all she needs, and what I want to give her. Nice. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like, yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Oh no. Sayori. She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Picking her up in her own house. That really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to enter her room like this. But isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? Which really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Oh my god! Oh my god. Oh my god, it happened. Why? Why? Oh my god. What the heck? An exception has occurred. I don't care. What? What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this could be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know it's best and that everything will be okay. Jeez, I'm shaking right now. I am freaking shaking. I don't like this. I also don't like the music. In any way, shape, or form. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her. I shouldn't have confessed to her. I don't know what she wanted. It's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it is for others to care about her. Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Oh my god, it's my fault. I probably did this. Dang it. Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. Oh my god. If I just spent a little bit more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like it has always been, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do to bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. Except it kind of is, so... yeah. I only had one chance and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never, 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 never. I can never take it back. And that's not the end of the game. Can I click? Oh god. Why is this character a version of all the other characters? Why is Sayori replaced with all the other characters? That doesn't make any sense. What? What is this? Oh no. What is this? I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention to my daughter herself. This is the beginning of the game. That girl is my neighbor and good friend since we were children. What is happening? So okay, so he already just killed herself. And now the game's going again. But all weird. Why? I don't know. You know the kind of friend you never see yourself making today? Oh gosh, I don't... should I read this? She's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sign idle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up to me. Epilepsy warning. Oh my god. I am actually really scared right now. It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I tell myself it's about time to meet some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. Okay. The school day is ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Okay, so this is when Sayori would normally come and ask me to join the literature club, right? Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Devin. Oh my god. Ugh. What is happening? You're Monica. Monica? Oh my goodness. I totally didn't expect to see you here. Honestly, me neither. It's been a while, right? Ah. Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. Well, we do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. That's what he said when he was in the classroom, I think. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Did you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? Haha, about that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Oh my god, I don't like that. Why? Why did that happen? Literature? Sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? Ahaha. It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything, reading, writing poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. That's Natsuki. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insisted that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member is a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Devin. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? Ah, I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Ah, awesome. You're really sweet, Devin. You know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. This is really weird. I do not like this at all. And thus today marks the day I sold myself to Monica and her irresistible smile. Okay, and the original was, and this was the day I sold my soul for cupcakes, I think. I don't know. You can go back and read that. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs. A section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Oh no. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Okay, are we gonna see girl 1? A guest?
Seriously? Bought a boy?
Okay, that's the first time I've done that voice in a while.
Way to kill the atmosphere.
Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Devin. All words escape me in this situation. Same, because I do not know what's going on. I don't know where Sayori is. I don't know where anyone else is. I don't know what's happening. And I just want to go home.
So, let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right?
What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki. Energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Devin in the classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Oh.
Wait, Monica. Didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know.
Bake cupcakes? Sorry. I didn't forget that. I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Devin? Okay, they're really making me at home here. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks into the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. I still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't plan any of this, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make sure to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. So far, I'm not having that much fun or excitement, considering my best friend just died and I don't know where she is because we're in this weird alternate universe. I'm surprised there aren't more people in this club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting all the effort into start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Netsuki?
Well, I guess.
Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Subject, I think is what it originally said. I don't know. Like, things change and other things don't. And then things are moved, and then things aren't moved, and it's weird. I don't like it. Monica must have worked really hard to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea really help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know... I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So Devin, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way to answering that. Manga? I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head slowly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but keeps quiet. I don't know what's going on, guys. I am really confused. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's what? I don't get to read that because I clicked it like an idiot. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Yeah, I'm actually quite interested as well. Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasies, I think is what she says, but it won't load because my game is super duper laggy, my computer's terrible. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Shares the deep psychological elements that usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately, and I read a horror book once. I just really grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think, or it takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment.
I hate horror.
Why's that? Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki?
What? What gives you that idea?
You left a piece of your scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called...
Don't say it out loud. Give that back.
Fine. Natsuki, did you write your own poems?
Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No.
Why not? Natsuki averts her eyes.
You wouldn't like them.
I'm not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing the level of writing takes more than just confidence. A trust form of writing is writing to oneself. The truest form. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experiences too, Yuri? Maybe if you could share some of your work, and you can set an example to help Natsuki feel comfortable to share hers. Of course. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Well, we all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Nat and Yuri. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. We did this like 3 times already. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like it's a good step for us to take. Do you agree with this as well, Devin? Hold on, there's still one problem. Eh, what's that? Now that we reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monaco may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought... eh? The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Devin. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. Defenseless. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I feel terrible for letting anyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls? Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Devin? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment.
I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed.
In the original, I'm pretty sure he says something about, if you just came here for the cupcakes, I would have been super pissed, but I guess they changed it right here. Devin, I'm so happy. We could become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. I don't know if my character remembers what happened last time, but I don't think they do. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Devin, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah, cool. Can I really impress the class star Monica with one of my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside of me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. Okay, did we call it a day? With that, I depart from the clubroom and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess I started with writing a poem tonight. I guess so. Are we gonna write another poem? You have unlocked a special poem. Oh no, I'm scared. Of course I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna click no. Did I pick the wrong decision? Was I supposed to have said yes? Dang it. I'm like 99% sure I was supposed to have said yes. And I'm sure everyone in the comment section is gonna be super duper mad at me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? Okay, let's write a poem. Flower. Anxiety. Universe. Boop. Dream. Feather. Fireworks. Aura. Party. Unstable. Cheeks. Disaster. Scars. Sadness. Nightgown. Variance. Defeat. Fun. Marshmallow. And grief. Okay, so I tried to get them as evenly as possible. I think I got them both 10 times. Hi again, Devin. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, you're so funny, Monica. You're hilarious. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks. Oh my god, what is happening to your face? I did not like that. Did the music change? I think that I feel like the music changed, and I don't like it. Thanks for keeping your promise, Devin. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh my god, can you stop that? Oh come on, like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you just plan to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Jeez, calm down. Why are you in front of the text? You certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps their manga collection in the club room. Can you get out of the text, please? I would like that. What? Manga? Yeah. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Manga is literature.
Stiffly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Devin. Well, make sure to put your comfort first. Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. I don't know if it's just me or the classroom is like really wonky. No, it's not just me. I'm looking in the corners and you can see it moving forward. Why is it doing that? Yuri looks so tall now. Jeez. I don't like this. I feel like I'm gonna get jump scared. Oh my god. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interested picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. So it only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask. Wait. What? I didn't mean it like that. What happened? If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try and be part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'll be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? That's Yuri, you're so tall now and I don't like it. I just felt like... Whoa. The music is going really weird and I hate it. Well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I don't want you to feel left out. So what did you do? So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. Honestly, if you picked a manga, then wah. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know... I'm sorry if my game is lagging. I don't know if this is my computer or it's the actual game that is purposely doing that. I don't know, but I don't like it and it's very annoying. And we could, you know... She's gonna say discuss it. Discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she'll think I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Jeez, I don't like how the classroom's so wonky. It's giving me, like... It's making me seasick. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Oh my god. Everything went back to normal. Finally. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But it doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Don't know why. That was even in the regular version. I don't know why, though. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seemed to be on the first few pages. Ah. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me. Is the camera zooming in? I don't think so. Okay, that's good. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. That's super duper awkward. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. I was focused and if I was focused then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Guys, I just wanted to say that Yuri's eyes are drifting from her face. Okay, only one of her eyes is drifting from her face. Can you stop? Uh-huh. I wanted to reread some of it. Oh my god. Jeez, guys, this game is actually getting really scary now. Like, I genuinely do not want to play this. I mean, of course I do want to play it, but I'm just like... I'm gonna get jump scared any second. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how can we have two copies of the same book? Ah, well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. What? Oh, she likes me? I don't know. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. I feel like any second Yuri's eyes are gonna drift from her face again, and I don't like it. Is that so? What's the story about, anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol in the front cover. Man, this game loves to just put eyes everywhere, apparently. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. That sounds terrible. But the faculty gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... To what? Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. It's fine. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about limbs. It's kind of dark, isn't it? You made it sound like it was going to be a nice story. Said dark turn came out of nowhere. Ah. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Devin? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems so completely different. It's just that this kind of story is the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be so evil. What the heck? But because the world is full of horrible people, and we're all worthless anyway. Okay. Then suddenly, I'm rambling again, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books or writing fulfill my thoughts, I don't know what that writing... Oh my god. What? My whole body something... I forgot to... It said like something like my whole body something. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I could do is listen. And it's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, what? I might as well get started reading, right? Yes. Whoa. Why did you do that? Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but... what are you saying? No. Just let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright. Is it fine if I sit here? Alright, it's fine if I sit here. I step into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she is not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in the... Okay. Yuri, you apologize a lot. Dude, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna do this last day and then I'm gonna call it a video, but jeez, this is weird. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Haha. Here, this should work, right? I slide at my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more in between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh my god, I don't like this. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. I did the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to the side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. Yeah, thanks, Yuri. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Jeez. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Wow. Oh my god, her face. What the heck is wrong with her face? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. Uh, uh, that's what you were talking about? Sorry, I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Honestly, I don't think she is alright. I don't think this game is alright anymore. Eh? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since he started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands to her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with your breathing. I didn't even notice. Anyways, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Okay. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Devin? Did something happen just now? Eh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Eh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I figured we'd just get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, and I slip it back into my bag. My cat is over there. It's stalking my lizard, because I have a lizard, in case you haven't checked out my Instagram and my Twitter. I post tons of photos of all my pets on Instagram and Twitter. And my cat hates my lizard and wants to eat it every single day. Who should I show my poem to first? Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Okay. I don't want to do this voice. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like it's not like I said it was bad. I just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'd like it. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly. I've read this poem before. I don't care. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. I hate doing that voice, and I hate doing that. Even though I just did it right now. So people won't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set it up for a rhyme at the end, but I made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Yeah, I learned a lot of things. I don't know where my cat went. Where did my cat go? I don't know where my cat went. It just disappeared. I don't know where it is. It just went somewhere in my room, under my bed probably. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Not really. Yeah, I guess not. Okay. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I kind of humored myself. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Fair enough. Who should I show my poem to next? Well, I really only have one choice, do I? Monica. Hi, Devin. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Devin. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I had Monica my poem. Great job, Devin. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. Honestly, do not know what I wrote. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. Aha, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? That's writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just so totally detached from reality. I don't mean that's like a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's totally given up on people. She spends so much time on her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction. So don't blame her for coming in a little strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. We all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should get to my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. Doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I feel like I'm just reading the same thing over and over again that I read in like the first 2 episodes. I see. Well, let's read it then. Oh no. Hole in Wall. I already read this. I don't care. It's such a long, weird poem. So, what do you think? It's very free form, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. Was that the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a little bit. An epiphany. Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone's better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you will never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. I listened, and you're welcome. Who should I show my poem to next? I don't know, but I'll guess Yuri. I don't know. I mean, I could have picked the other person, but I felt like just showing it to Yuri more. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. I don't like that statement. Exceptional. What was that? Whoa. Did I just say that out loud? Yuri's face covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment for someone coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly and then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I can learn to pick up on them. And I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is both the style and expressive are weakened. Okay? But once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changed. Her stammering is completely gone. She sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are actually many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. That's going to be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? But please do. I love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if it's a rare opportunity for her. Which in itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be at the literature club? A ghost under the light. I don't I think I remember this one. I'm just gonna skim through it. I don't know, but whatever it is, I could care less about it. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah, it took me like 4 seconds. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? Sorry, my phone went off. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Nice. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I want to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost Yuri? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I think she said uh-huh. Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Devin. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go, blah blah blah, I've clicked too fast. I'm so trigger happy, is the thing. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too. Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Devin. Me too. Okay? I think it's the end of the day. I think that's a wrap. It's almost a wrap. I think we just need to get through a few more lines of dialogue. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. Okay? It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. I think everyone's slightly judging you, but they're not being too harsh. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way the poems can stand up to theirs. Yeah. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns to the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. What? I don't know who said that. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Well, I mean, you have to try harder to come up with something nice to say. Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Devin did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Devin liked my poem too, you know. Oh, they're bringing up the Devin card, and even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh no. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress her new member, Yuri. That's not what I, you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Devin appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Devin started showing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities and others like that. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Oh my god. I don't like this. Stop. Me? Look who's talking. You wanna be edgy? Okay, I'm not saying that. That's crazy. Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? I'm just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know? If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? Oh my god. This is insane. The only cute thing about you is how hard you try.
Well, be careful, you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri.
Oh my bad, you already do, don't you? Oh my god. You just accuse me of cutting myself? What the is wrong with your head?
Yeah, go on. Let Devin hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this.
Ah. Suddenly Yuri turns toward me as if she noticed I was standing here. Devin, you're trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it.
How did I get dragged? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Yuri. Natsuki's being really annoying. Yuri, Natsuki. Natsuki. Yuri. Natsuki. Why is it zooming in? Stop. Yuri. Natsuki. Yuri. Oh my god. Why is Monika's face here? Can you move? Oh my god. Hey Devin. Why don't we just step outside for a little bit, okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. I'll go back once they're done yelling. Aha. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I would just wish I was able to be a little bit more assertive sometimes. Wow. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. Oh my god, she's crying. Stop. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri's rocking back and forth on her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what on earth Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Devin, please don't hate me. I don't hate you. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget about it all by tomorrow. Completely. Okay. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monika. I don't like this storyline, guys. You can go first, Monika. I like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. If I wait for you to be done... Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. Kind of sounds like you don't want me to run for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Devin. It would be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble. But I really appreciate you. Oh my god, can you stop? What the heck? I'm saving right here. Okay, I don't know why my save was gone right there. That was weird. Okay. Well, I guess this is where we're gonna end the video. I guess. Sayori just killed herself. I mean, she didn't just kill herself. But, I mean, she killed herself in this episode. And I did not like it. And I do not like this game anymore. And I'm gonna play this probably very soon. So anyways, goodbye guys. I love you. And I have honestly no idea where my cat went. So goodbye. My throat hurts so much.